properties of that component. Suppose some properties may fail due to repetitive application of loads, or some properties may fail initially when we apply load. For example, if I throw a stone at the glass, it will break immediately. Suppose if we throw a stone at wall, wall doesn't break immediately until I apply very large amount of force. Means different materials have different properties, and we use different materials for different types of applications. For to know what type of material is suitable for which application, we have to study strength of materials or mechanics of materials. Okay, basically what is mechanics of material means? Basically mechanics means study of what type of forces acting on the members and its effects on the members. Okay, today's topic is introduction to mechanics of materials. Let us first discuss what is mechanics. Mechanics is nothing but the study of what type of forces acting on the structures or any machine components and its effects on the material. Okay, there are different types of materials available. Some are rigid, some are deformable bodies. For example, if I consider a wall, it is approximately rigid up to some extent of forces acting on it. For example, if I apply a force on this comb, if I apply a force on this comb, it will bend. Means it is not perfectly rigid. Means it is deforming its shape whenever I apply a force on it. Okay, and we will study rigid bodies in engineering mechanics subject, and we study deformable bodies, what type of forces acting on deformable bodies and its effects on the deformable bodies we will study in strength of materials subject. Okay. Okay. In order to know which type of materials or which type of properties should a material possess in order to use in engineering applications, we will know today. Okay. Basically, engineering materials should possess very few important properties, very few mechanical properties for the sustain of its life, for various types of loading and its for its efficiency of working. Our engineering material should possess some important mechanical properties. Some of them are, first one is elasticity. What do you mean by elasticity? Elasticity means it is the property should be processed by engineering material by virtue of its material regains its original shape whenever load is removed on it. Simply, first I applied a load on this comb. Whenever I remove load, it's regained its original shape. This is attained by the property of elasticity. Okay, but elasticity is not useful for all type of engineering applications and for all type of materials. Because if we consider a manufacturing process like rolling means we will decrease the size of the component by pressing the object between two rolls. Means here we mainly concentrate on decreasing the diameter or decreasing the thickness of the object. For that, if it is elastic, whenever we remove load, it will regain its original shape. But that is not applicable in all the type of materials. Okay. Second point is important property should be possessed by engineering materials are plasticity. Plasticity means the material should undergo inelastic strains. When it is loaded beyond the elastic limit. Okay, for every material there are some loads. Means if I apply suppose 2 Newton force on this comb, it will regain its original shape. Again, if I increase the load by 1 Newton, it will become 3 Newtons. If I increase the load up to 3 Newton, it will deform some extent, and whenever I remove load, it regains its original shape. Suppose if I apply load of 5 Newton on this, it may not regain its original shape, because if it reaches its elastic limit, the material never regains its original shape, or it regains some of its shape by due to elastic recovery. Okay. Now understood, plasticity means the material should undergo permanent deformation. It should not regain its original shape whenever we remove load. That's why for some of engineering applications, the material should possess plastic behavior. And the third property, important property which is useful in engineering materials are ductility. Okay, what is meant by ductility? Ductility means it is the property of material which enables to draw objects longitudinally to reduce its cross sections. Means, for example, if we consider a drawing operation, means a thin wires are made from some raw materials like mild steel or carbon steel wires are made, which is attained by the property of ductility of the material. If material has higher ductility properties, it can be drawn into lower thickness wires. Or if select a material which doesn't have ductility property, it will break after reduction of some thickness. Okay, means if material is highly ductility, means it is having very good plastic behavior, means it is undergoing permanent deformations. Okay. Okay. Ductility means it is a property by virtue of its materials can be drawn into thin wires of very small cross sections. Okay. Next important property is malleability. Malleability is the property of the material by virtue of it can be drawn into thin sheets. Means it can be undergo deformation in all directions. Means if I take a one material in the shape of a cylinder or square box, if I press load on it, it will extend in all directions and it will behave like a thin sheet. Are you getting? Whenever I take some raw material in the shape of some square or something, and whenever I apply a load on it, the material will expand in all directions to form thin sheets. This can be attained by the property of malleability. Means And if we select a material, some material for some application, the material shouldn't need to be possess all this type of behavior, all this type of properties. Some material will possess good elastic properties, and some will possess a good plastic behavior, and some will behave, some possess a ductility, and some material will possess malleability. But whenever material is having good ductility properties, it is very good, it is having very good plastic behavior. Means due to ductility only, we can run raw material into thin diameters or reduced cross sections to form thin wires. Thin wires means it is undergoing plastic deformation. And malleability means we cannot drawn into reduced cross sections. Just material will expand in all directions to form thin sheets. And the next property is brittleness is the perfectly opposite of ductility. Means if a material is having very good ductile property, means it can be drawn into thin cross sections under tensile load. But whenever we apply tensile load on brittle materials, it will break immediately without undergoing any significant deformations. Means if material is very brittle, means it cannot be drawn into reduced cross sections. Whenever we apply a tensile load, if suppose if elastic limit of suppose some material is 5 newtons, if I apply tensile load of 6 newtons on the material, it will break immediately without undergoing any deformation. Okay, and example of brittle materials are perfect example is glass. Glass is ideally brittle, means whenever you apply a very small tensile load on the glass, it will break immediately without undergoing any deformation. And next property is toughness. Toughness means toughness is the property which can be which toughness is the property which inherits the material to absorb lot of energy before its failure. Means if I have two objects, I have spectacles and my one pencil. If I apply a load on the spectacles, it will break immediately after some load. If I apply a same load on the pencil, it won't break. It will deform up to some extent, but it will not break. Okay, means if I apply same load on my spectacles, it will break. Okay. Any problem? Hello? Any problem? Hello?
Check
Oh,
the chat
sorry.
once in a while.
Difference between engineering mechanics and solid mechanics. Okay. Engineering mechanics deals only with rigid bodies. Means is a PSPK. Someone is asked his doubt. Difference between engineering mechanics and solid mechanics is engineering mechanics deals only with rigid bodies. Means which do not undergo any deformations. Body is perfectly rigid. And solid mechanics deals with the deformable bodies, which will undergo deformation whenever we apply a load on it. Okay, and the video is not, voice is breaking, means I have some network problem. Okay, is it okay now? Hello. Hello, is it okay now? Okay, let me check once. Is it okay? Am I audible now? Am I audible? Okay. Sorry for the interruption. And toughness is the property of the material by which it can absorb lot of energy before it undergoes fracture. Means, just now I explained. If I applied a 2 newtons force on my spectacles and I applied a same 2 newton force on my pencil, my specs may break after applying 2 newton force, but pencil won't break after applying 2 newton force. Means my pencil can absorb more energy before it undergoes fracture than my spectacles. Okay, thus we can say my pencil has high toughness compared to my spectacles. Means for that type of materials we can choose, for example, if we suppose to design any machine components, if we suppose a lathe machine, if I consider lathe machine, my cutting tool will cut the material in forward stroke only, but in return stroke it won't cut any material. Okay, means in forward stroke a lot of force will apply on my cutting tool, while it is moving over the surface of workpiece, a lot of force will act on my cutting tool to resist its movement on the workpiece. Okay, thus my tool material should have very high toughness compared to the workpiece. Then only the process will run smoothly and it can remove material. Okay, thus property of toughness is very important in selection of tool materials in manufacturing process. And the next property of the material is hardness. Many of people have heard this word hardness, but actually what do you mean by hardness is the resistance of the material to resist indentations on the surface. Means hello. Okay, resistance is the property of the material by which it resists indentations on the surfaces. What do you mean by indentation? Means some scratches. If suppose if I drop one stone on my paper, and if I drop a stone on some pad or something, when I drop a stone on paper, it will pierce over it. And when I drop a stone on my pad, it won't pierce through it, because paper has very less toughness compared to the material made of a pad. Okay, the hardness of material can be determined by two tests. Mainly one is scratch test and other is indentation test. Indentation is nothing but providing some marks on the surface by using some materials. Means some tool materials we are provided marks or irregularities on the surface. We can determine hardness of the material. In scratch test, what we do is a diamond material is loaded in some tools, and we are made to press over the material to which we are decided to determine the hardness. Means whenever in one tool I arranged a diamond at the bottom and I pressed it over the material or workpiece to which I decided to determine the hardness. Okay, are you getting? This is one tool material to which I arranged a diamond some piece to the bottom and I pressing it over the material to which I am decided to determine the hardness. Whenever I press it over the material with some load, with some standard load, it will pierce into the material and will it make some hole or some irregularity on the workpiece. The hardness can be determined by how much amount of load we applied on the material and what width of irregularity formed on the workpiece. We can determine the hardness. And the second one is indentation test. Indentation test means a standard shape made out of some material is taken and is pressed over the material with some tools. Both indentation test and scratch test are same, but in scratch test we use diamond to make irregularities on the surface, but in indentation test we use some standard shape of made of some material will be used to make irregularities on the surface. Okay, in indentation test we are when we selected here some shape of some thickness or diameter. Suppose in Brinell's hardness test we use steel ball of some standard diameter. Okay, and we are supposed to squeeze the steel ball into the tool, into the workpiece. We are interested to determine the hardness. Okay, by using Brinell's hardness test we can determine hardness of the material. Okay, next important property is strength. Strength is the very important property of material from design point of view. Actually, what do you mean by strength? Actually, what do you mean by strength is whenever a load is applied, suppose I have considered this pencil. I am applying a 2 Newton load from both the ends. Suppose from this end and from this end, I am applying 2 Newton load. 2 Newton, that is axial load, axial tensile load. Okay. Whenever I apply a 2 Newton load on the material, tensile and outwards. Tensile means outwards only for this object. I am applying a 2 Newton tensile load on the material. Whenever I am applying a load on the material, the the molecules inside the material will deform up to some extent. Means they are resisting my force whenever I am trying to break the pencil by applying 2 Newton load. But the molecules inside the material will resist my force to resist its deformation. Let me explain. Suppose this is the pencil.
Sir, hello.
Okay. Hello.
Fine. Okay, nothing.
Hello. Hello. Okay, sorry. Suppose this is the material. Whenever I am applying a load, tensile load, means this is the material. I am applying a suppose 2 Newton load. On this material means I am trying to break the material, but the molecules on the interiors of material will resist. I am applying force in towards right at this extreme end, but molecules at the interior will oppose my force in this direction. Okay, means whenever I apply a force towards right, the molecules inside the structure will oppose oppose
Yashwant,
the brain.
share your
Uh,
screen.
what
Share your
happened?
screen.
Oh, sorry.
Share your screen.
Okay.
Hello, Yashwant. While doing with your actions, open the Skype because we can't see what you are doing.
Okay. What? Okay. Tell me what's problem.
While you are doing with actions or something showing what you are doing, then screen share your Skype.
Okay. Okay. So this is the on this material I am applying a 2 Newton tensile load. Means I am trying to break the material. Means I am applying forces in this direction. But the molecules inside this structure will resist my force. Whenever applying a load in this direction, the molecules in the interior will try to oppose my force. Means the molecules at this cross section will oppose the load force I have applied on it. Suppose if I applied a force P on this material, then this is the cross section. Let A be the cross sectional area of the material I have chosen. Then strength is defined as the amount of load acting on the material to the normal area of cross section. Strength means load applied on the material per unit cross section. Okay, these are the important mechanical properties of engineering materials from design perspective. Now I will explain something. What do you mean by pressure? What do you mean by pressure? Please type in chat box. What do you mean by pressure and what is mean by stress? Okay, Ching Chong. Who is this China guy? Force per unit area. Means is it pressure or stress? Or for both it is same? Okay, first. Okay, force per unit area, pressure. Okay. Then what is stress? For a few seconds back, I have said the same. Stress is also nothing but force per unit area. Then what is difference between the both? Is means Ching Chong you are telling is both are same. Pressure and stress both are same. You are telling from point. Both are same. Okay, PSPK. Yes. Okay. Now I will tell something. Please focus on the screen. Means for liquid it is pressure. For solid it is stress. Okay. Please focus. I will try to explain to make you understand what is the difference between pressure and stress. Means for equation point of view, pressure means force per unit area, force acting per unit area, and stress is also force acting per unit area. But what due to what type of forces which is coming? Means pressure is only due to external forces. Suppose we heard about some are feeling it due to exam pressure and some tell about exam stress. Means pressure means due to some external forces we are experiencing it. Okay, but stress means due to internal forces develop inside the body we are experiencing it. Okay, some may tell due to exam pressure someone has committed suicide, or due to some exam stress someone has committed suicide. We heard of this. Means the basic difference between pressure and stress is Pressure is only due to external forces we are experiencing it. And stress is due to internal forces produced in the body. Okay, internal forces are produced only due to external only. But stress means due to internal forces, stress is produced. And due to external forces, pressure is produced. Okay. And pressure is always means someone has told for liquid it is pressure. Okay. Bottle has some water and I'm pulling. Can you say the fluid is experiencing some pressure? You can't say. But when I am applying a compressive force on the liquid, you can say the fluid is experiencing some pressure. Okay. The basic difference between pressure and stress is pressure is due to external forces and stress is due to internal forces in the body. Okay. Now let's discuss due to stress, strain will produce in the body, or due to strain, stress will produce in the body. Which comes first? Please type in chat box. Yes, due to stress. Okay, someone are typing. Okay, please type in chat box fast if you know. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, my question is due to stress, strain will produce in the body, or due to strain, stress will produce in the body? Due to strain?
Yes, due to strain.
Due to strain, stress will produce in the body. Super. Who is this Gonna? Due to stress, Janardhan, due to stress, PSPK. No. What Gonanical said is absolutely right. Because
Due to change in
whenever I apply a load on the material, the molecules inside the material will undergo some deformation. In order to resist this deformation, the materials will experience some force in the opposite direction of applied force. Okay, are you getting what I am saying? This is the material. I am applying a tensile load on both ends. Tensile load on both ends. Due to this load, the molecules inside the material will undergo deformation. To resist this deformation, the molecules will resist some force. Okay, due to this force per unit area is known as stress. Okay, I think you are okay with my statement. Due to strain produced in the body, stress will produce. Means strain is the cause and stress is the effect. That's why only while we drawing a stress strain diagram, we draw strain on the x-axis and stress on the y-axis. Means we always draw cause on the x-axis and effects on y-axis. Okay. Okay, I think you are okay now. Due to strain, stresses will produce in the body. Okay, thank you. Okay, by this we will wind up this session. We will continue in